Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Most people, just for those of you who don't know online, are out shopping, so they're just going to be coming dribbling in as we move through here. Well, I'm going to ask if anybody's here for the first time today. You are? Would you stand up for 1 second? All right, stay seated, but I'm coming to you then. No, just tell me your name. Amanda. Okay, Amanda. So I'm going to ask everybody in the audience to do something. Just pay attention, because I'm going to ask you what you hear, okay? Okay. Anybody else for the first time? No. If they are, they're out there shopping. Okay, we come together every Sunday as a spiritual community to do one thing and one thing only. What is that? Amanda, did you hear nothing, right? Nothing. Well, what they said was that right where I am, God is. How's that sound? So right where you are, right where your heart is beating, that's where this living energy, this divine energy is. And we celebrate that every Sunday. So we start with saying, thank you for bringing your energy, your love, your consciousness to this center today. And Sherry has a gift for you, which is my book, which you can take with you. And give me your email, and I'll send you an email. And then you can tell me what you thought, or ask me questions, whatever you need. Okay, so everybody else, I invite you to stand up. Amanda, now you can stand up because they're all going to stand up. But this song is specifically for you. Here we go. And sing out, Louise. You too, Caressa. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Well, I am loving every living thing. I can see the face of God in paupers and queens. Well, we're all precious, no one less or more. We've all got the same treasure in store. I am loving every living thing. Okay, let me hear y'all now, come on. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Well, I'm believing in my guided light. You know what, Katie? Whatever happens, it always turns out right. Here's what I do. I just dig right down to how I feel. I take a deep breath and I grab that wheel. I'm believing in my guiding light. Here we go, everybody, come on. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Mr. John DePatty, say good morning to one another. Just turn to your neighbor, say hi, how you doing? Let's give it up for John DePatty. Well, I'm reaching for my highest place, with the wind at my back and a smile on my face. Well, I'm living my dream more and more each day. I just don't care what those wigglers say. I am reaching for my highest place. Okay, let me hear you guys. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. How do you feel, D? It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. How you feeling? It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. see the shoppers have come home. So how's everybody feeling today? Yes? Is it beginning to look a lot like Christmas? I think this is the first year we've done the holiday boutique so early. I used to complain all the time and say, why is everybody putting up their Christmas decorations so early? There's actually someone in our neighborhood in Studio City who put up their Christmas decorations last week. Seriously. And I was like, oh my God. And Kevin was like, no, it's perfect because we're celebrating on Sunday. So thank you all for coming today. Amanda, thank you for joining us. We come together every Sunday as a spiritual community to do one thing and one thing only. In your own words, why are you here? I love that. It took you all totally by storm. And everybody went, what did he just say? That's not how we answer. No, why are you here? I heard you, Glenda. Was it you? Yeah. To have fun? Oh, Diane's here to have fun. Okay, good. So, Audrey, why are you here? To talk to Carolyn. Great, okay. Aaron, why are you here? To remember who I am. How's that sound? Who would like to leave here remembering Stan? It's time, right? I'm in. Okay, good. So that's why we're here. I mean, we really got to ask ourselves that every now and then. Like, why am I here? Why did you wake up on a Sunday morning, besides my lemon cakes, which took 5 hours yesterday to make? Yes. It took, we figured it out. It takes 5 hours to make 24 lemon cakes. So I'd get them because I'm never doing it again. So, no. Till next year. No, this is just the first batch. Then I have all the cakes that get mailed back east to our family, who just every year, they're like, don't forget to send a lemon cake. We're having it for Christmas dinner. Well, then I guess I better, you want to get on that list? Yeah. That list is getting shorter, not bigger. So we come together also to remind ourselves of our vision statement here, which is, when do you suppose those words are going to turn into energy for you? When those words are actually going to be the way you live life, not just the concepts of life. Because I was asking myself that. I walked in this morning and I looked up and that was the first thing I saw was Dr. Eric's signs. And I was like, how much of that do I live every single day? It's pretty easy. Don't you think it's easy for you when you are not coming from love? Do you notice when you're not coming from love? Has anyone had any moment this week where they didn't come from love? Anybody? Yeah. Are you aware of that when it happens? So that's the first thing this does. As soon as you make the decision, I'm going to live from love, then when you don't, it's like, damn, you get it. So you'll never be able to not know what you're doing. Isn't that great? When we're not coming from love. And then, anybody have anything they still haven't forgiven yet? Okay, that was sarcasm. Yeah. So, it's a lifelong journey to continually bring forth the stuff that we need to forgive. Because we think we've forgiven it, and then something pops up. Did you ever notice that? I think that something is completely done, and then someone triggers some button that I somehow have not whatever that's called, I was going to say disenchanted, that I've disengaged, or some button that's still there because I never noticed it. And so then I have to look at it again. And then the last one, remember who you are. That's going to be a lifelong journey, but here's the good news. I'd like to say that your remembering who you are comes with all of your successes and ahas, as well as your possible failures or your moments when you don't remember. All of it is part of remembering who you are. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So I want you to just take a deep breath. So I said right at the top of this that love only. It can be sometimes difficult. Do you ever notice moments where you just don't want to come from love? your light clear. This is not me coming from love. Well, I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to think about any of that, any of the stuff in your life that prompts perhaps not the most loving response. A person, a place, a memory, anything. And just hold it very lightly as Mindy talks to you.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
So, if this universe is nothing but energy, and it is, and if that energy is creative and it is expansive, is infinite, constantly moving, if that energy is who I am, if it drives my thoughts, fuels my heart, expresses through my soul, and if we understand that that energy is what we call love, this life force, this divine creative spark, then in truth, everything is love. We may confuse it, we may think it's something else, but behind all of it is pure love. What we do with that love, that's the story of our lives. Because in truth, there is only love.
When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say,
Please join us.
there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love.
Just let your heart sing it out.
There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Take a deep breath. Let it out. Let's give some love to Mindy and the ladies. I would say, as a minister, one of the greatest things I get to do is teach classes. I am loving the Radical Compassion class and everybody in it, and all the energy that comes from all of the students, which we all are. And I especially love teaching ministerial class. And we stepped into the second year of ministerial class this year. We have 10 aspiring ministers. And the first night they were asked to come in and kind of like, how was my summer vacation type thing. But they had to tell me what has transpired between last year when they finished the first year and the beginning of second year. What happened over that time in between in a metaphysical way? And you never know what to expect as a teacher. You expect that they'll come in and do a good job and that you'll have notes, of course. And they came in and really shocked me. And Tiffany mentioned it too. We were just like, everybody just came in the second year, like just charging ahead, like with such energy, such passion. So it's very exciting to me to know what's coming up in the future for this center and the many centers, because there are students from other centers. And this energy, this resurgence of science of mind as heard and understood through a younger generation. And that is so exciting to me. So not that my younger generations of Liza and Tiffany and Kirby and Eric and everybody, they're all breaking sound barriers too. In fact, just this week, Dr. Liza and Francisco, who is in ministerial class, did their very first live Spanish podcast of Science of Mind. So it was live, but it's about to be live to tape. It will be going out. So, and that's so exciting. We've been talking about this for so long, for you finally to just say, enough, we're just doing it. So that's very exciting. Well, this gentleman who's coming up right now is also in ministerial class. You all know him. He basically runs the center. And there's a good reason for that, because he has so much passion and so much love for the community and for this teaching. Please welcome Thor Chalgren. And it takes a lot to get him out of that booth.
A lot.
Yeah.
I look at my watch, and by the time we're done with the service here, I've already gotten like half of my exercise points for the day.
So you get to say what our new theme is for this month, and that is?
It's express.
Take a deep breath, everyone. I'm not going to be teaching a painting class where you all have to paint your bodies. But I picked that picture partly because it looks like Nora to me. When it was sent to me to look at all these pictures, I went, well, that looks like Nora. So that's like her eyes coming out to me saying, it's time for you to express yourself even more. How many of you would like to express yourself even more? Some of you should express less, but we'll talk about that later. No, none of you should express less. Not even you, John. Yeah. So what do you think about this? What are you about to do?
Well, it was interesting because when I saw the slide midweek, I had a definition that I think was different than the original definition. Oh. And I'll share that in a second. But then the primary one also, I was thinking about, and it was actually came to me this morning while I was journaling. Look at where the paint is on, I assume, that girl's hands. It's on her hands. And the reason that I share that is this morning I was thinking about something about my creative contribution to the world. And I was coming at it from thinking about what do other people expect it to be? What are they wanting? And then I came up with the idea of secondary expression. Thinking about if I'm creating from what I think people want, what they expect, it's not me. That is not the creative energy that's flowing through me. In the same way, that girl isn't going to go to someone and say, what color would you like me to paint with?
She's love that.
She's reaching out and getting the paint
she covered it,
she wants.
And she covered herself because she did every color possible.
Right, but it's her choice.
Yeah.
As to how she wants to express herself.
Well, do children ever ask us how they want us to paint our walls that we didn't ask them to paint?
No, they like it. They want to do whatever they want.
I remember
that's how they express.
When Will and Nora were like 2, or Kevin's probably not in here, 2 or 3, maybe they were 3. I remember going into their bedroom, because they had one bedroom, and they were very quiet. Parents, how do you feel when your children get quiet all of a sudden? especially if they're 2 or 3. Yeah. And so I was like, I know they're awake. So I walked in, and in the little corner, they had 2 little areas where they could finger paint, where they had paints on it. They had taken their hands all over the wall. There were handprints all over the walls. I was speechless. I stood in the door. I was like, but very quickly I went, this is really creative. And maybe if I give them a paintbrush, they could put it back to the color it was, which I didn't do. But I remember that. That's why this picture really hit me when Lori sent it to me. It just reminds me of those things. But no one told them to do that. Right. It's just something inside of us. So that's the good question. So if you stop thinking about what type of minister the world needs you to be and just what kind of minister you're going to be.
Right. Then it's me painting with my own hands and not asking someone else what color they want me to paint with. That was not my initial definition, though. When I saw the word express, I thought not in the creative expression, but I saw it as speed as opposed to as, because you know my word in mental muscle is flow. So that's where my mind is at now, is flow. And this week is expectation week.
Yes, it is. Well,
so,
yeah, it still is.
So I that's where I went with it. I go, what do I expect? And this image came to mind that if I get into an elevator, there are all sorts of buttons for me to press, right? Like,
yes.
So if I think about something I have to do, my expectation is it's going to be just overwhelming. That's where I can first
That's a lot of buttons.
It's a lot of buttons to push. But if I think about express, then it becomes one button. And that's all I have to do. And when I know that that's the button in the quantum field that I'm moving towards, then everything else is so much easier.
This is what I get every Thursday night. Very good. You're ready to take over, aren't you?
You know, you talk about doing the work and living the results.
Yeah.
And that's my pitch for why journaling is so important. Because so many of these things are things that during the day, we don't have time to think about stuff like that. But in the morning, when it's just my time, then that's the universe flowing through me.
Yes, in mental muscle, I ask, who's doing mental muscle right now? Raise your hands. Okay, so I ask everybody to journal every single morning. And some people don't like it. I mean, I get a lot of pushback, I love journaling, but I woke up yesterday and I really don't want to be doing this. I didn't write, I typed. I really don't want to be doing this. Really, I really don't. Why don't you want to be doing it? And then I wrote for 2 pages. Just all of this stuff of why I didn't, why I thought I didn't, and I got down to something else. Then it was like my keynote I'm about to give. Did I even prepare for that? And then all of a sudden, you know, when you finally get your mind going, it just goes. And it was fabulous. I guess I was on the express train.
That's right. Yeah, and it actually, Sarah pointed out to me when I said that, she said, you know, on the West Coast, we don't have expressways. That's more of an East Coast thing.
Oh, we have freeways.
We have freeways here.
Because in the East Coast, it's not free. You have to pay.
Right.
It's true. Did you ever notice that? When you rent a car at Newark Airport, and then all of a sudden it's like you're driving and it says, do you want to pay for this now or later?
$5, please.
I know, right? Yeah. Okay. Good job. I love that. So it's Express Month. You all ready for that? Yes. Okay, so what's our affirmation?
Our affirmation is this. And here's the other thing.
Oh, okay. Do you have more slides?
No. That's it. I'm done. Only 2.
I knew you must have had slides. Because I was like, why are you holding the slide thing? Thank you. I'll take that now.
So I want everyone to think about paint on your hands. Imagine that you have paint on your hands right now that you want to create with. So when you say this, you can stand up or sit. No, let's stand up and think about reaching out as you say this, that you are painting what you want in your life out into the quantum field. So I'm going to say it one time, and then we'll repeat it together.
Okay.
I express my unique self with abandon. You guys all ready to paint?
Ready?
All right.
I express my unique self with abandon. How'd that feel? Do you want to do it one more time? Okay, good. Throw it all over the place.
Messy.
Because it's virtual. Here we go. Ready? I express my unique self with abandon. Good? Thor Chalgren. Okay, I'm going to give Thor a moment to go up and get the best picture of me he can on the screen. So I found this really cool song, and we have such an amazing, and I would like to just take a moment and talk about these three women. These three women are the greatest gift to a minister, to anybody, because they come in here, they sing through these harmonies, pull them out of their ears, and sing their hearts out. And every week, we sing something new. And I will usually send an email. I try to do it before Wednesday at least. Did you get this one earlier in the week? Tuesday, I think. Yeah. So I sent it, and it's got a lot of lyrics. And I sent it to Emily, and I said, here's a great song I'd love you to sing on Sunday. Let me know if you're in. But she didn't get back to me till like Friday, when you finally went, oh, by the way, I'm good. But I knew that. So they learned this song. The following week, you've had a big time. I gave you like 2 weeks. So much time, I know, to sing next week a Bon Jovi song. I'm just finding all this stuff, and Mindy's the queen. I'll call her and just say, hey, could you sing this? She goes, yep. And by Sunday, we have it. So here is Emily Edwards and ladies singing Live Out Loud.
Imagine this, I get a phone call from Regis. He said, do you want to be a millionaire? They put me on the show and I win with 2 lifelines to spare. And picture this, I act like it never even happened and bury all the money in a coffee can, 'cause I've been given more than Regis ever gave away. I was a dead man who was called to come out of my grave, and I think it's time to make some noise, wake the neighbors, get the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given, made to be lived out. So la 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 la, live out loud. Live out loud, yeah. Think about this, try and stop a bird from singing after it soared right through the sky. Give the sun a cloudless day and tell it not to shine. And think about this, if we really have been given the gift of a life that'll never end, and if we have been filled with living hope, we're gonna overflow. And if God's love is burning in our hearts, we're gonna glow. There's just no way to keep it in. Wake the neighbors, get the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given, made to be lived out. So la 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 la, live out loud. Live out loud, yeah. Everybody. Every corner of creation is a living declaration. Come and join the song we were made to sing. Wake the neighbors, get the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given, made to be lived out. So la 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 la, live out loud. Get the word out. Come on, crank up the music, climb a mountain and shout. This is life we've been given,
This is life we've been given. So live out loud, yes? That's all I got. No, I want to ask the question that she asked at the top of this, sort of. Imagine this. You have this relative that you've never met, you never even knew you had, this amazing aunt who lives far, far away and's never met you, you never knew she existed, but she passes away and she leaves you hundreds of millions of dollars. You all good with that? Now I want you to imagine this, like it says at the top of the song. Imagine this. This is true. That you suddenly wake up one morning and realize you are so wealthy that there's no way you could ever possibly spend in the rest of your life everything that you now have. So with that being a reality, what would you do? Just think for a moment. What would you do? Would you do things differently? Would you quit some things? Would you do other things? What would you do if that were the case? This question's asked a lot, like, okay, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And, would you quit your job? A lot of people say yes, they would quit their job. Like Tiffany, whose head's about to fall off her head, or shoulders. Would you quit your job? Well, that's an interesting thing. If you would, you might want to think about it now. Because prosperity energy comes to the mind and the heart and the soul that is flowing. Whose word was that? Thor's word. So what would you do if you had all of that? When I ask myself that question, would I stop being a minister? No, not at all. I'd just take all that money and blow it into all of this. This would be the most, I would create the most amazing center, but the most amazing place for people to come and get everything they need fulfilled. Just create this, and spend an inordinate amount of money on marketing. Because that's the money I really, really require. I want to get out there. I want this message out there so that everybody knows about it. If I have one more person say to me, God, I never knew you were there. That's so frustrating at times. So I think I would do that. I would take that money. I'd be on every billboard in the world telling people who they are. Remember who you are. So what would you do? That's an interesting concept. I love that the song starts that way. You're on Regis, and I love what the songwriter then says, though. I would take all that money, put it in a jar, and bury it, because I already have more than Regis, bless you, than Regis could ever give me. Is it Regis that did that show? I guess it was. So the theme of this month, I'm the one doing this. The theme of this month is express. We've already looked at that. And I hadn't even thought about the thought of express quickly moving through to take the express train. But boy, wouldn't we all like to take the express train to that moment where we have everything we could ever possibly want? So here's what express means. To represent in words, to make known your feelings, and to show, manifest, or reveal. So the first thing I want to ask you is, do your words match your heart? Does what you say match what you feel, what you mean? To represent in words, to make known your feelings. More importantly, do you know what you feel? Are you really clearly in alignment with what you feel? And is what you are feeling what you're doing? The life you're living. Whatever that life is. And then the last one, to show, manifest, or reveal. Well, the interesting thing about the word manifest, part of our teaching, is that you will always manifest what you are equal to. You will always manifest what you are feeling. You will always manifest what you believe. because that's where your manifestations come from. So right now, you actually are expressing in your life everything you are equal to at this moment. How does that feel? Good? I see a lot of people like going, really? But here's the good news, if that was bad news. The good news is you can manifest from this moment forward whatever you choose, whatever you decide. But you would have to get in there and find out, what do you believe? What do you feel? Am I really following through on what I say I feel? So that's the definition I'm going from. So my question to you is this: what are you expressing? Just take a moment here and look at your life. What are you expressing? Are you expressing ease and grace? Are you expressing serenity? You know, every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sherry Verson does Mondays, and Dr. Karen. But every time I do Spirit Breath, there's a word we pick. And on Friday, I picked the word serenity. And that word stuck with me all day. And then that word at night, when we came here to do soul immersion, I used it in soul immersion too, because it bookended my day. I was expressing serenity because I chose the word serenity. I informed my soul, here's what I choose today: serenity. But there are days when I don't necessarily inform my soul, and the universe informs me. Anybody? On how to express. This person informs me how I might want to react. This situation, our world at large that we live in. So the question really becomes, when I ask you, how are you expressing yourself? The real question I'm asking you is, are you expressing yourself? Your true self, your highest self. So what do we base our expression on? Like, I express this shirt has a lot of controversy. Because the first time I wore it, Dr. Eric told me that I should really take it home, burn it, and never wear it again. And now, by a show of hands, how many of you love this shirt? I want you to look around, Eric. Yeah. But I bring this up not just to out Eric for his lack of taste, but to show that everybody gets to express themselves however they choose to express themselves. But there will be other people who think that that expression doesn't work. Does it matter to you? No. But Eric will never be caught dead in one of these shirts. And that's as it should be, which is what I'm giving you for Christmas. So when I say, how are you expressing yourself? How do you express yourself? I'm really kind of asking, are you expressing you, or are you expressing everything that's come up to this point and all the influences? God, we even create now influencers to influence us into doing things or being things or acquiring things. So what do you base how you express yourself? And what about this? There's this term. I'm going to get to this Ernest Holmes quote. Divine expression. What do you think that is? What do you think divine expression is? Well, I'll tell you. There is something inside of you that doesn't need your opinion. How about that? Let's just stop there. There's something inside of you, Dr. Tiffany, that doesn't care what your critical mind is doing. It doesn't care how sarcastic you can be. It doesn't care about your comedy and your humor. There's something inside of you that is so Tiffany, so real, so authentic, so divinely individualized, and it just wants to be let out. And you let it out a lot.
It's my sarcasm that wants to be let out.
Did you hear what she said? It's my sarcasm that wants to be let out. Maybe, because that's a good quality of yours. It's very funny. It's very funny. But what is it inside of you, perhaps, that hasn't been expressed yet? Or that wants to be expressed in a different way? It could be just what you're doing, but maybe in a different way. So Ernest Holmes says this: never limit your view of life by any past experience. So that's number one. Are we good with that?
Yes.
Good. Liza's like, yeah, move on. Next sentence. The possibility of life is inherent within the capacity to imagine what life is, backed by the power to produce this imagery through divine imagination. Ultimately, what he's talking about here is the creative process. He's basically saying the possibility of life is inherent within your capacity to imagine what your life is. Not even what your life can be, but what your life is. Because let's face it, if you know what you want, you need to start experiencing it now in mind. Don't wait for it. So the possibility of life is inherent within the capacity to imagine what life is. Now here's the best part. Backed by the power to produce this imagery through divine imagination. So what does that mean? It means there is that in you, that back of you, that all you need do is be clear, really clear, what it is you want to see in your life, what you want to live in your life, how you want to, as the song said, live out loud. There is that in you, the divine imagination, that brings it forth. You don't even have to do it. You can relax. You just have to be equal to it. And I know some people are like, well, what does that mean, be equal to it? You know what it means? It means your mind continues to support you at all times. How many of you this week think you had even one disparaging thought about yourself? They're going up slow, but I expect most of you will raise your hand. Yeah, okay. That's using your divine imagination to bring that forth, whatever it was you thought. And most of us don't think negative thoughts about ourselves just once in a week, by the way. We do it a lot. That is not using the power of my divine imagination. That's bringing that very first sentence into being. Never limit your view of life by any past experience. How many of you still bring up the past in order to beat yourself up? That was good, Caressa. Caressa went, that's a maybe, I'm not sure, I'll get back to you. But these are important. Somebody said in one of the classes that they got something wrong and they said, oh, I'm going to beat myself up over that. I went, please don't. Beating yourself up over anything is unacceptable. Beating yourself up over even the things that you could logically make sense out of beating yourself up over do nothing but take down your ability to create what you want. So the real truth is, backed by the power to produce this imagery through divine imagination, how do we manifest? By keeping our mind on point. When I say, what are you equal to? I mean, what of all the thoughts you've had in your head, bring them all together, what's that equal to? And I'm telling you, it's not difficult. It really is not difficult for you to live your life clean in mind. The title of my talk, oh, there's two of those there. Oh, that's funny. I like the one with the balloons. The title of my talk is Just Imagine. Just imagine. This month is a month about expressing yourself. You know, when I asked myself, what would I do with all that money? And marketing was one of them. I really do want the world to know who it is. I really want every individual to really get a sense of who they are, the greatness that's inside of them. I really would love the I am God concept to take off like wildfire. But that's not going to happen in the face of the problem with the word God. So what would we say? I am greatness on demand. Get them that way. G-O-D. Greatness on demand. I am this life force. Now science is helping us because it's starting to let us see. It's all energy. You, me, D, we're the same energy. We are touching each other even though I'm up here and you're down there because my energy and your energy is that one energy. And if that's the truth of who we are, just imagine if we started living from that understanding that I am this quantum field of pure energy moving through me, everything is possible. Everything is possible. That's not just a nice slogan for the back of your car. Everything is possible. That is the absolute scientific, spiritual truth. Everything is possible. Your mind decides what to do with that. The lyric, I love this lyric in the song. Try to keep a bird from singing after it's soared up into the sky. It's not gonna, because the bird knows who it is. It knows what to do. It just does it brilliantly. And it probably doesn't spend a lot of time wondering if it has the right fur on. Did y'all get that? Or if it's wearing the right shirt. It doesn't. The bird doesn't care. It just flies because that's what it does. Right? Second lyric. Give the sun a cloudless day and then tell it not to shine. It can't. Because the sun knows who it is, what it is, and it just does what the sun does. So what's your problem? Really, what's your problem? What's my problem? Why are we not flying because we know we can fly? Why are we not shining because we know it's our inherent nature to shine? What is our problem? You know what our problem is? Tiffany. Our problem is two words, critical thinking. You see, the sun, as far as we know, doesn't think. It just is. The bird is not thinking necessarily. It's reacting, but the bird just is. You and I, we have sarcasm. We have all the things that we can do in our minds. We have critical thinking. We can figure out why we're not able to fly. We can figure out why we're not able to shine. We can figure out all of our problems. Anybody here ever talk to themselves about their problems? Yeah. Anybody here know all of their deficiencies as a person? If not, ask your friends. That's the conversations we get into. Here's how you could fix that in you, Marilyn, and I can help you with that. Right? What if our minds, what if our focus went somewhere else on our divine truth? Ernest Holmes said this: man's world is one of self-expression. That's all it is. And that means woman's world too, by the way. I didn't correct his gender issues. Our world is one of self-expression. I kind of brought this thing up about the shirt to show you that every single one of you is living in your own reality. Every single one of you sees the world as it's seen through your concept of the world, your already established premise of the world, your beliefs, your feelings. Every single one of you has a different understanding of this world than the person sitting next to you, even if you're in agreement, because you don't have the unique perspective of that person next to you. Audrey, Carolyn, I'm sure you're very clear and very together on many issues. But the way you see them, that is your own unique perspective. And if we're ever going to really soar as the birds or shine like the sun, we're going to get back to our divine expression. We're going to get back to that unique expression within us that asks us, what is yours to do? What is mine to do? We're going to express from our highest self. So this month, what I want you to do is pay attention to what you're expressing and ask yourself, where is this coming from? It's a little bit of work, but I know you're willing to do it. Where is this coming from? Something comes up inside of you, a feeling, just notice it. Oh my God, I'm expressing this right, and this is what's expressing through me. Now, where is it coming from? Back it up. You're going to be amazed at the things you find. And here's the deal. If you find that where it's coming from is authentic and good, have at it. If it's not, deal with it. Be willing to really look at yourself. Because I'd like to think that by the time we move through this month, we are expressing all over the place. We are just expressing from the deepest part of our being. You know, at this center, every morning of the week, Monday through Friday, you can tune into Spirit Breath. It's at 9 a.m. You just have to go online, onto our website, click on the Zoom link, and it'll take you right there. And you can sit there with me 4 days a week, or Sherry, or Dr. Karen when she gets back from her trip, and start your day with whatever perspective you decide to. But that's part of expressing. Are you giving yourself time to figure it out? Soul immersion, 2 Fridays a month. Come and these chairs are gone. Everyone's just laying on the floor on mats. There is this brilliant video going on and sounds all over the room. It's an opportunity to come and, I always say, just come and go to sleep. Right, Dee? Did you go to sleep this Friday? No.
I flew.
You flew, yes, yes. But just come and lay down and let us take you on a journey to your inner deepest self where that divine expression lives, and make some noise to yourself. Live out loud. And the classes, Radical Compassion. We're going into class 4, but you can come to any class. One class is fine. Stop in. You will get something amazing. And the people are amazing in the class. And you can take it from home, or you can come and join me in the room downstairs. And why I'm bringing these up, not necessarily a marketing thing, because if you're going to try to tap into that part of you where divine expression lives, where your self-expression, your individual, your unique expression is, if you're going to tap into that, you have to give yourself the time to tap into that. You have to shut everything out and go in and just ask, what is here for me to know? What's mine to do? Whatever questions spur you to get that deep, amazing expression inside of you to come up. So, Don Miguel Ruiz says this: find the courage to ask questions and find what you really want. Truthfully, we are expressing all over the place. Don't you find yourself expressing everywhere? Maybe it's just me, but I do. Just expressing all over the place. I feel this, I want that, I know this, I know that. It just comes through you. It has to, or else you're in a coma. And even then, I think you're expressing. Because you cannot stop mind from doing what it does. So, back to the top of my talk tonight. You've been told that you've inherited millions of dollars. Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And the question is, what would you do? Fun question. Fun thing to contemplate. And Aunt Tilly, I'm sorry that she passed, but God bless her for sending all that money my way. Now, what would I do with it? Well, here's the truth. Here's the spiritual truth. You have been. Just imagine. Just imagine if you woke up today, sitting here, and you realized that, as Emily sang in the song, you didn't need those hundreds of millions of dollars. You just roll them up and put them in the ground. Because what you already have is so much more than that. So much more than anything you could ever imagine being given or inheriting, because you have inherited something. Your individual, unique self, you have inherited the wisdom of the universe. You have inherited the possibility of all time. You have inherited a creativity, an ability to express yourself in the most unique, magnificent ways. That's true. This isn't fantasy or a fun, what would happen if. This is true. Just imagine what you can do if you're willing to know who you are in such a deep way that you couldn't possibly get involved in all the mundane activities of the universe. They're not yours. Yours is an amazing journey. Just imagine. Namaste. All right, let's take a deep breath. Coming up, ladies. I invite you to take out your contribution here this morning, your investment. And don't be saving money for shopping. I'm so grateful to everyone. There was a lot of wonderful people who stepped up last week when I explained that, we need to up our giving at this center in order to do the things we want to do here and to keep providing what we provide here. And I want to say thank you to all of you that did that last week. And tell you to keep it coming, because one of the things we need to imagine, yes, and Sherry has that. If you don't have cash, because most people don't these days, we now have a what is that called? The QR code, where you can just take your phone, snap it on that, and it takes you right to our giving, and you can just give it online. So we're finding every way possible to make it easy for you. So let's know this, shall we? No, we're not knowing this anymore. Music, please. Pretty music. That's right. I always keep forgetting that I took the rote prayer out that we all do. So just take a deep breath. Hold whatever you're going to give here today. And if you are a virtual giver, and you give weekly, and it comes in weekly, and just know that, hold that in your heart. When the basket comes by, just bless it. What I give because I can. And what I receive because I'm open. And when I am open, my giving and my receiving continue to expand. And so I say thank you to each person, each heart that has opened here today, online. Thank you for what you give. Thank you for what you receive, and how what you receive blesses the world all around you. And so I just allow myself to continue in this flow, knowing that it's so, as we say together, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I want you to think about all the things that bless your life.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so it was, and so it is, and so it shall always be.
Good morning. It's Sunday, October 1st, and here are your GTC announcements. Coming up on the calendar, right after our celebration today, you can participate in our holiday shopping boutique.
we have all sorts of crafts, clothing, and food vendors who will be set up and ready for you to do your holiday shopping right after service. Imagine the feeling of being done with your holiday shopping a month before Halloween. The boutique takes place right after celebration today, so come join us. Next Saturday, for our friends in Palm Springs, join us for Cocktails and Consciousness from 4 to 6 p.m. For more information or questions, please reach out to Dr. Lori Savage. Next Sunday, right after our service, the Wisdom Women will have their monthly meeting with a special presentation by our own Sherry Verson. You can join the Wisdom Women live in person here in Westlake Village or on Zoom. The meeting starts at 12 noon. Finally, we're now offering tickets to our Diamond Jubilee Gala on November 5th, just 5 weeks from today. To buy your tickets and to learn how you can become a valued sponsor of the event, just go to our website. You'll find the link right on our calendar page. You can always find out what's going on by visiting our calendar on the website. To find it easily, just use your cell phone on the QR codes you see throughout the sanctuary. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Thank you, Thor. Mr. Bailey?
Well, all right. Thank you for all of you early shoppers today. As the Thor said in the announcement, that will continue till 1 o'clock. There are amazing items out there, including my beautiful husband's
Shirt.
lemon cakes.
I have 20 shirts out there just like this.
A few of you are new to this, so we are taking holiday pre-orders as well. There's still about, he made 24 yesterday. There might be 7 or 8 left out there if you'd like to purchase them today, but some folks have already done pre-orders for pick up the week Sunday before Thanksgiving and then into December. So I'll keep him happily baking all season. And somebody asked me, yes, the cakes are $30, but all proceeds, we bake them all day, and it is a we thing, lest you think I don't participate in the cake baking.
He washes the pans.
And
he butters the pans.
I butter and flour the pans. And do all the dishes. So
yes.
That's not nothing. Anyway, there's $30.
And he didn't even complain yesterday at all about it. You would have thought it was no complaining week.
Exactly. Anyway, they're $30 a cake, but all proceeds go as part of our fundraising here. So please join us and buy a cake. All right, I want to invite up my dear friend Scott Gibb. As you know, we now have sold over 100 tickets already for the gala next month, which is amazing. We only have 150, so please don't delay. And I'm speaking to good folks online as well, because when we are sold out, we have a maximum capacity. So please, please, please get your gala ticket. And I want to especially thank... every week, a couple more people join us as sponsors to the gala, and that is really where the fundraising part of the gala is going. So thank you. Some of our folks are supporting us from online and far away, and a couple more people joined as sponsors right from our center. So thank you for those. Please consider a sponsorship to the gala, if at all. And I'm segueing to this beautiful man and this gorgeous instrument that he has created. I know most in this room know the incredible talents of Scott Gibb. If you're watching us online, Scott is a master craftsman, and he has handmade this harp. I'm calling it a harp, but that is correct, right, Scott?
It's a zither.
A zither. He makes this for part of our fundraising of the gala, and this is going to be one of our auction items as part of the fundraising for the gala. It is amazing, and I'm going to hand the mic to you so you can talk about it, but we are going to start as part of our fundraising. This is handcrafted, folks. It's amazing. It's going to be on our silent auction with the starting bid of $1,000, all right? And if you're interested in that online, you know how to reach me through the center. Otherwise, you can speak to me out in the breezeway afterwards as well. But now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Gibb.
Thank you, Kevin.
It's gorgeous.
It's funny that the painting analogy came up with Thor this morning. I think of this as a palette. And the air is my canvas, and I've got 10 brushes. This is the first instrument I've made that I can play without having to learn how to play it. And that's the beauty of these instruments. This is a lap harp, it's a zither, there's lots of different things.
What key is it in?
This is D minor.
Okay.
The great thing about this is anybody can play it. Because of the tunings, these are all tuned to pentatonic scales. And basically, pentatonic scales, they take the 5 best notes out of 12, and they all sound good together.
That's great.
It was originally designed as a music therapy instrument for hospice, retirement communities, you name it, because anybody can sit with it and just strum it and make beautiful sounds with it.
And does this come with it?
Yes, it's built with pickups inside, so you can either hook it up to a headphone or you can hook it up to an amplifier, like it is now.
So like regular Bluetooth.
Regular Bluetooth, yeah. And I'll be playing it out in the entryway, but this is the 5th one I've made, and I'm giving it away in exchange for a donation to the Global Truth Center through the silent auction. Starting bid $1,000. We hope to raise much more than that, of course. And it's not just the instrument. It comes with a kit bag. It comes with a complete set of strings. It comes with a tuning wrench. And it comes with instruction from me. I will teach you how to string it and tune it. It's not while this is a fixed tuning, it can be tuned to different scales, major and minor scales. So you can do happy, you can do sad, you can do moody, you can express on it. And that's what the beauty of this instrument is.
And you still brought it back to express. Awesome.
Amazing. So please, Scott's right out in the breezeway afterwards. Again, if you're watching us online and you have interest in this and want to participate in the silent auction for this, just get in touch with us through the center site. I guess that's maybe to contact you, I guess, if they just write into the center. Anyway, we will take care. We will get that out there if you just contact us through the center if you're interested in participating on that.
Excellent.
Okay?
Good.
All right, that's it.
Okay, thank you. I do. Okay, everybody. So I invite you all to stand up.
And let's bring some light into the world. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for having this amazing journey. I know all you singers out there. Sing it out, Scott Anderson. Here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Come on and let it shine, shine. Shine, shine. Shine, shine. Shine, shine. Everywhere I go. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna let it shine.
Everywhere I go. What are you gonna do, Carolyn?
I'm gonna let it shine.
Everywhere, everywhere I go. Scott, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Come on and let it
shine, shine.
shine, shine. Shine, shine. Shine, shine. Now when I greet my brother in peace, what are we gonna do, Ro?
I'm gonna let it shine.
When I greet my sister in peace, what are we gonna do, Paula?
I'm gonna let it shine.
When we greet this whole world in peace, what are we gonna do?
I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Come on and let it
shine, shine. Shine, shine. Shine, shine. Shine, shine.
Okay, all around the world.
All around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. all around the world. I'm gonna let it shine all around the world. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on and let it shine, 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 shine. Have a great Sunday, everybody. I'll see you out there chopping.